Right. Good afternoon. So we studied HTML list, three types of list in the previous class: ordered list, unordered list, and definition list. So ordered list is based on numbers and alphabets. Unordered list is based on bullets. So there we have three bullets, three types of bullets. This type, that's a shaded circle, and circle, and square. Square means a square with shading, right? So we have only three types of bullets in HTML. And also we discussed about definition list, that is for showing words along with the descriptions or definitions, right? So mostly definition list is very useful in creating glossaries, online glossaries, okay, right? But look, I told you to explain something about ordered list and unordered list again, because there may be some advanced things to be introduced, right? Look, even though I have to introduce these advanced things for ordered list and unordered list, so I just want to explain that only in ordered list. If you are able to understand that thing in ordered list, I know that you can understand in unordered list. So I'm not going to spend much time in both. Let me take the time to explain that in ordered list. Okay, right. So this is nothing, right? You know this concept. Look at the unordered list, ordered list, which we created earlier. So we created an ordered list like this. See, one and something here, list item like hardware. Two, software. Okay, like that. So we have created such list in the previous class. Here I use 1, 2, 3, even it may be A, B, C, Roman numbers, everything is okay. Look, this is single level list. Single level means you have only one type of numbers used for list items. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a straight line, right? You can see only one level, but you could see some other lists which have some sub lists. See, maybe inside of software there may be a sub list like application software, system software. So since it is a sub list, you have to create another pattern. You cannot continue this one, because you decided to use this one for this main level: hardware, software, liveware, firmware. When there is a sub list, there should be another letter pattern, another number pattern used, maybe A, B, C, D. So if I say small a, system software, small b, application. So now list seems to be a little different. Of course, it is an ordered list because it is based on number, alphabet. It is ordered list. But look at the levels which it has. There is one major level. You can see a sub level there, right? There is a level A, B. So now it has two levels. So this kind of a list is called multi-level list. We have created multi-level list even in word processing software, in MS Word, right? So let's create one multi-level list in HTML. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to spend much time, because for creating such list, you can use your existing knowledge. No need to introduce any tags or any new things, right? Only the skill that you need is the organization, how those tags be organized. That kind of skill is expected. Okay, so without further delay, I'm going to create a list. Have a look at this. Right, so first of all, I will write the output, that list on the board first. So look here, I want a list like this: one, hardware. Okay. Then inside of a hardware, I want a sublist like A, small a, input devices. Okay, let me put input. Then B, I want output devices. Okay. So this time I don't want C. I just want to create another sublist here, which starts from Roman number 1, right? So here it is soft copy. Then the same list to be continued. So this must be Roman number 2. Okay, hard copy. Right. So next I would go back to this level, right? This level, and take the C, like storage. Okay, storage or storage devices. Then I just want to go back again. I don't want to take D. It may not be a meaningful one. You know, there are hardwares, right? Input, output, storage, processing. There may be many, but I just want to finish my list. So I want to go back to the second again, software. We have two types of softwares, system and application. So let's show them. So again, a sublist. So it looks like the same one, A, system software. B, application software. Okay, enough. So let's create this list. Definitely it's an ordered list because 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, Roman number 1, 2, 3. So definitely it is an ordered list. Okay, so let's create this. Okay, I just want to modify the existing coding because to save the time, because every time we cannot type head, right, body, title. So I just want to edit this coding. Right, look here. Right, now look here. Even though this list seems to be a little complex, but you don't need to worry about this because look here, first of all, keep an eye on the first list item. Forget everything, right? Focus on your first list item. So here the first list item is hardware. But check the number type or the type of data which it has. So it is 1. So 1 dot hardware. So now focus only on this one, right? Hide everything. So now you have been asked to create this one, 1 dot hardware. 1 dot hardware. It's too easy, isn't it? So 1, which means ordered list. So you don't need to add any attribute because by default, ordered list takes this one, right? So now we can do this simply. Ordered list. Okay, first of all, ordered list. There is no need for having type because that is default. So close the bracket. Okay, my first list item is hardware. So it's very simple, LI. Okay, hardware. Close the LI. Follow this method, it's very simple. Okay, right, LI hardware. So let's go back to the output again. So LI hardware, definitely it will be 1 dot hardware because on the top we have OL, then LI hardware. So hardware takes 1, right? Now focus on your second list item. Okay. So your second list item would be input or input devices. Okay, input. But check that type. So here you have A, right? You need A, not number 2. Okay, you don't want number 2, you want A. So now look here, if you try that one with LI, okay, suppose if you try LI input, definitely your answer would be 2 dot input because this LI belongs to this OL. So if you add another LI, definitely it takes number 2. We don't want number 2, right? We want another list. We want A. So now focus on this small list. Okay, focus on this small list. Forget everything. Forget the rest of the coding, rest of the output. Focus only this one. So assume you have been given to display A dot input, B dot output. Again, very simple, right? Very simple. It's another list. So you have to write a coding to create this list. So whenever you need an ordered list, you know, OL must be there. But look here, look at the pattern, look at the type. So this is AB. So since it is AB, definitely type added. Okay, right. But the problem is, look here, listen to me. One important thing. So now I'm going to create another list. But before we start creating another list, we have to decide whether this OL tag to be closed or not. Right? We have to understand that one, because now we have to create another list. So now we should decide whether this OL is closed or not. That is important. Okay, anybody, should I close this OL, or will I create another list without closing this OL? What is the idea? Should I close this OL tag at the moment?
No.
No,
Why?
sir.
Why is that?
We have some other list in that OL.
Okay, that may be one answer. Yes, have you understood her answer? So you have that level again. The same level is continued, right? Look here, 1, 2. So now you may decide, okay, that list should be continued because that 1 is continued here, 2 as 2. So you can't close. That may be one answer. But another important thing is, look here, this small list, listen to me very carefully. This small list is inside, little inside of the main list, which means it looks like the sub list of this main list, right? This input output, this small list looks like the sub list of hardware, which means main list. So when it is sub list, it must be created without opening that, without closing that list. If it is closed, then how can you take that as sub list? Have you understood my idea? So it cannot be closed. While keeping that as not closed, you have to create another one. You have to start creating another one. Okay, right. So now focus on this one, right? A dot input, B dot output. Let's create that. Right. So in order to differentiate my new list, I just want to leave some spaces here. I just press the tab key and left some spaces. But this space actually is not important. But if you leave some space, your coding may be well organized. Even the people who look your coding can understand the structure. So always leave some spaces here, because I'm going to create a sublist, right? So better leave the space. Even if you don't leave the space, it works. Okay, it's not an issue. I press the tab key and start creating another list. Okay, this is OL. Right, so you might have noted that it is ABC. So definitely type is needed. Type equal small a. Okay, right, close the bracket. Right. So there we have two list items. First one input, second one output. So it's very simple. Li. Okay, Li input. Close the Li. Then go to the next line. Again, another Li, another list item. This is output. Okay, close the Li. Right. So now we have created both list items. Okay, input and output. So now my next list item would be this one, soft copy. But check the type. There we have one, Roman number 1. So definitely this is a different list. This doesn't belong to this present list, right? Because it starts from A. So this type is ABC, but here it's different. So now we have to create another list. Okay, we have to create another list. But before we create this list, we have to check whether this list, whether this OL is closed or not. Okay, because we are in the second ordered list now. We have to create another ordered list, which means third ordered list. So before creating the third ordered list, we have to decide whether the second ordered list is closed or not. So let's go back to my coding again. Tell me, Should I close this OL now? Can I close OL here? Is it correct?
No.
Huh? No. Again, the same reason. Look here, same reason. This B is continued. This level is not closed yet because C is there. So you can't close. Another argument, see, under the output, you have another list. This is a sublist, right? This is a sublist created under this output. Under output means under second list. This is the second list, right? So if you close, definitely, suppose if you close, definitely this new list cannot be shown inside. It must be shown here. One soft copy, two hard copy. You cannot get this space. Have you understood? If you close this OL here and create this new list, definitely you cannot get the space. Okay. So without closing this OL, you have to create another list. We have to create the third list, right? Again, this is an ordered list, but look at the type. Roman number 1, Roman number 2, but small letters. Okay, so let's create that. So I cannot close this. Okay, since it is a new list, since it's a sub list, for a good organization, I leave a tab again. I leave a space again because to differentiate, right? So this is another list. So OL again. Yes, we won't type equal, this time Roman number I. So Roman number 1, which means small I. Okay, close the bracket, right? So then we can easily create those two list items. First one is LI. This is soft copy. Okay, soft copy. Close the LI. Again, we have another list item. This time it's hard copy. Okay, hard copy. Close the list item. Right. So now we have created both list items. Okay, let's check the next one. Right. Your next list item would be storage. So which means that is different list. So we are in this particular list now. Okay. Before we create storage, we have to decide whether this present list is closed or not. What is your opinion? Should I close this current list?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, definitely yes. Look, there is nothing in terms of sub list, right? You cannot find any sub list under hard copy. Even that 2 is not continued like 3. You can see that, right? There is no 3, right? So definitely it is the time to close this. If you are unable to understand anything, please ask me, right? This is very important. This is only for your, so as I told you earlier, this needs some sort of organization skills from you. I'm using all the tags which we already studied, right? I'm not using any new tags. All you have to do is apply your idea, right? Apply your organization idea. That's enough. Okay, so let's close that OL. Okay, so now you see it looks like a good organization because now see this list is closed. So we started OL here and closed. That's why I leave some spaces in front, right? Here I have a space in order to show the sub list. Okay, right. Now it is over. Right, now look here. You need storage. Focus on this one, right? Forget the other. You need storage, but look here, you want C. C storage. So C belongs to the previous list, small ab, right? So C storage. So it's very simple. Look here. In order to create a list item, we want LI, right? LI. Look at this list. It is closed, right? It is started here and closed here. So even if I start another LI here, definitely this LI belongs to, right? This LI belongs to this one, this OL, because this has been closed. Imagine this highlighted part has been raised, right? So you get such imagination. I have raised this. So now if I write LI, definitely this belongs to this OL. Earlier you have input and output. There we have AB. So if you add another LI, definitely it takes C, right? Li storage. Okay, Li storage, close the Li. Right? So now you can easily understand that this Li takes C because you have A there, B there. So it must be C because this OL already closed. Okay, right. So this is also correct. Right. Look at the next list item. So every time you have to focus on the next list item. That's enough, more than enough to get the idea. Okay, look, I have to create software because suppose if you focus on many list items, sometimes you get confusion. That's why I'm requesting you to focus only on the next list item. That's very simple. Right, now time to create this list item, software. But look here, it has two, which means it is the main list. It is the first list, right? So which has already been created. So 1, now 2. So you don't need to start another OL because this is not the new one. This is already exists, right? So you have to create this list item. So to create a list item, use Li, right? Li. So let's check it. So now I go back to the first level again, right? And put Li, right? Li. Wait 1 second. Right. To create this one, right? Before you create this one, to software, you have to decide whether this list is closed or not, because now you have created the third list item. So before you create another list item, you have to decide whether that list is closed or not. Should we close this second ordered list before creating the software?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely yes, right? Definitely yes, because see, this is over. You cannot have any sublist there, even there is no letter D in the next lines. So this list is not continued. Okay, so this must be closed before you start creating the next list item, right? So I have to close. Sorry, I didn't close that one. Now I have to close it. So before create the next list item, I have to close this one, right? This is OL. Okay, now see, this has been closed. This one is closed. You can forget this one, right? Forget this one. Here you have 3 lines and you have 2 lines here on the bottom, right? So that is closed, right? So now Li, we want software. Close the Li. Right, now look, I just want to reduce the font size in order to show the whole coding. So let's see. Right, now look here. Right, look here, this area is closed. Look at the highlighted part, this is closed. So now if you start another Li, definitely this, because Li is for ordered list or unordered list. Here we are dealing with ordered list. So definitely this Li belongs to one ordered list. So here it belongs to this ordered list because this is closed. Look here, at the bottom we close it. So this area is over. So if you are creating another Li, it means that belongs to the main level. So earlier you have Li hardware, so that took 1. So if you are writing another one, definitely it takes 2. That's the output which I wanted. Okay, 2.software. That's okay, right? Right. So now we have to create the next one. Focus on this one. System application. Right, I have to create system application. So it's very simple, but my question is, before we create that next list, should I close this OL now? Can I close this OL here before creating the next list?
No, sir.
No.
No, yes.
No.
No.
No, sir.
What's the reason? What's the reason?
We are
Software
working with
applications are
sublist.
sublist.
Yes, look, see, so some of you might have thought that this list has to be closed before creating the next list. I'm sure some of you may have that idea because 2 is not continued, right? You don't have any 3 here. So you may think that since we don't have any 3, any list item as the main, it is important to close that OL before starting the next one. Note that idea is wrong, because this new list is a sublist of software. So which means this is a sublist of this main list. So what happens if you close this OL before starting the next list? Yes, the sublist is, sorry, that new list is created, but not like a sublist. It should be here, A, system, B, application. So that must be in the same level, right? That must be in the same level. Maybe next to A, sorry, next to 2, there should be A, then system, B, application. That is not the output which we wanted. Even if you write like that, your organization is not right, okay? So definitely you cannot close the main OL now, okay? So without closing that OL, you have to start another ordered list, okay? So I just want to go inside and create another list. This time I won't type because it's ABC, right? Type equal small a, right? So there I have 2 list items. So first of all, LI system or system software. Okay, I close it. Then I have another list item. This is application. Okay, application. Then I close that. Right. Now I don't have any other list items. Yes, I can expand this one, but I don't want because it takes time. So yes, it's enough. So this list is closed. I have to close that now. Okay, I have to close here. Right, so now this sublist, the final sublist is over. Finally, you have to close your main list. Okay, so close your main list here. Right, then close your body and HTML. Okay, so let's see the output first. Right, so look here, this is the output. Yes, this is the one we expected. So you have the main level 1, 2, 3. This is the right. This is the main level. Look at that main level. Then you have the next level ABC. Even you have AB here. That is also same level AB. And the third level you have 1, 2, 3 here. Third level. So this is multi-level list. Clear? So this is all about your idea, your organization skill. There is no more skills needed. You have to apply such thing in an appropriate manner. Okay. So if you are able to create a list like this, definitely you can create multi-level list in unordered list also. In unordered list also possible, right? There may be disk here, there may be circle here, there may be square here. Use the same idea. You can, right? So you can create that one. Don't expect me to create multi-level in unordered. Idea is same, right? The organization idea, everything is same. So you have to apply that. Okay, right. I just want to show one more thing here. Let me show this one. Wait 1 second. Look here. I just want to close this OL. Where this one, right here. I want to close this OL before starting this new list. Sorry, not here. Maybe here, right? Right. So before creating the last ordered list, I just close the main OL, right? This one, main OL. Look at the output. You have to understand and you have to get that experience. That's why I'm showing that. Look here. Look here, what happens? This is not the sub level. It looks like the main level, right? ABC. So this is not a multi-level, right? You cannot get such idea because now the people who who refer your list may think that system and application also similar to software. because it is in the same line. So this organization cannot be the right one. So this is not the place to close this OL. Okay, that must be closed after creating the last list. Okay, now also you can get the same expected idea. Okay, so anybody has any questions? Check your coding. I give 1 minute. Check your coding and output, and if you have any doubt, ask me. Let me reduce the size again. Okay, check the coding and output, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Because of my space, which means indent, we always call this as indent. I press the tab key and leave some space, right? That is called indent. Because of that indent, you are able to understand this structure clearly, because look here, this is one list, this is another list, this one is another list, here another list, and you have the main list, right? So you can easily understand the structure. Okay, take your time and understand, and if you have any doubt, ask me. I give a minute. Understood, right? So since you don't have any questions, I hope that you all understood this idea. So it can be asked in exams, but mostly they ask only the simple level, which means single level. They don't ask this, such multi-level, but it can be asked, right? You can't say that it cannot be asked because of the prediction of the past paper, right? But it can be asked. So you must be good enough to handle these tags. Okay, right. So these are the things about HTML list. Right, look. So the next important thing here is table in HTML. You know the table, right? We often want table to express some data, because if it is explained in paragraph or some other format, sometimes people cannot understand, because a paragraph seems to be very big. People may not pay attention. But if it is shown in a list or maybe in a table, people could easily understand. That may be the reason why these tables and even lists are created. Okay, so I'm going to create a simple table first. I use the word simple because there can be several formattings applied in a table. So we have to spend more time than the time spent in list, right? So, but before going to the advanced part of table, I'm going to create a simple table, right? Look here, this is my table. I want a table with 2 columns. Okay, 2 columns. And let me create 4 rows. Okay, 2 columns and 4 rows. So here I just want a heading like, say, let's say it's a timetable or something, right? So it is day 1. This is a heading for this first column, day 1. This is day 2. Okay, day 1 and day 2. So under day 1, I have 3 subjects. It's a timetable, simple timetable. So let's say ICT, English, maths. So day 2 also we have 3 subjects. Let's say English, science, and religion. Okay, so this is a small table. Look, such table can easily be created in application software. There we have some user-friendly ideas. All you have to do is give the number of columns and number of rows, then the table is automatically created. You don't need to work hard there, right? But here, everything is based on the tag, right? So you have observed the list, right? So we spend a lot of time in creating the list. But creating that same multi-level list in word processing software, it's very simple. Similarly, in word processing software or in another application software, tables can easily be created. Even you can draw the table there, right? That facility also there. But here, everything needs tag. Okay, right. Let's create this table. Look, when you create the table, you have to follow an idea, follow some steps. If you are able to follow my steps, you can remember this table, or you can create the table anytime, right? You don't need to study again and again if you remember the steps, right? So especially for table, you have to listen to those steps carefully, right? Look here. So first of all, I must tell my browser to create the table. Look here, in ordered list, we requested the browser to create the ordered list with the help of OL, the tag. When it comes to unordered, we use UL. Definition list, we use DL. So similarly, for table also, we have to instruct your browser. Look here, I just want to delete this one. Right, and want to make some changes in the font, maybe size. Let's create, okay, 36. Right, look here. So now I must tell the browser to create the table. So it is table. Every tag is meaningful. Okay, table. So what happens now? Browser understands, or browser knows that it has to create a table. Okay, right. So now browser is ready for creating the table. Look, in HTML, a table is created row by row. Okay, you have to create your table row by row. So now you have to instruct your browser to create the first row, this one, right? You have to instruct the browser to create the first row. Okay, so to create the row, we have a tag called TR. Again, a meaningful one, table row, right? Table row. So now browser understands, or browser is ready for creating the row. Okay, right. But the problem is browser doesn't know anything about the number of cells in the row. Okay, when you use TR, browser understands that it has to create row, but it doesn't know the number of rows, right? Sorry, number of cells. So look here. Now in the first row, you have 2 cells. So every cell has to be created separately. Every cell has to be created one by one. So now we have to create this cell. Listen to me, right? We have to create this cell. So to create a cell with data, it must be TD, right? TD, table data. So TD is for creating a cell with data. So now I use this TD because to create the first cell with the word day 1. Okay, so now type the day 1. So look, I have written this TD here because to create that cell with the data. So now it is over, right? The data has been typed. So close the TD. Clear? So in the first row, we are in the first row. So in the first row, there are 2 cells. Just now, the first cell has been created. How? TD, then that particular data which is in the cell, then close the TD. Okay, so why TD? It is for creating the cell with data. Okay, right. Look, in the same row, we have another cell. that cell has day 2. So time to create the second cell in the same row. Okay. So go to the next line and use another TD. Okay, another TD. So now we are creating another cell, but this time it must have another word, right? Day 2. Day 2. And then close the TD. Clear? So now what happened? Both cells have been created. Okay, this one and this one, both have been created. So in other words, we can simply say that first row has been created because these two cells are only found in the first row. So creating these two cells means creating the first row. So now the first row has been created. You have added TR here in order to create the first row. So now time to close that TR. That's it. You have to use the same idea for the remaining rows. Okay, so now the first row is over. This is right. Have to create the second row. Okay, second row. Even the second row also has the same same cells, right? Two cells, but they have different words. Two cells, but different words. So let's create the second row. To create the second row, you need TR again. Everything is TR. Don't think that TR1 or TR2. Everything is TR. Think about the list. When we created list item, we used LI. So the first list item took 1, then 2, 3. Like this. Here, the first TR should be the first row. If you start another TR, that must be the second row. Okay, so don't think that TR1 or TR2 be needed. No, this is enough. Okay. Now in the second row, we have two cells, right? How to create TD again. So in the second row first cell, look at them. Second row first cell ICT, second cell English, right? So this time it's ICT. I have to close that, sorry. This is ICT. Close the TD. We have another cell in the same row. So TD again. This is English. Okay. Let's close the TD. Right. Look, that second row has only these two cells. We have created both. So now, as I told you earlier, the second row also over, right? Both cells have been created. So close the second row. Okay, I have started the TR here and close here. Same block, right? Same kind of set. This is one set that is for first row. This is another set for second row. So have to start the third row again a TR. Okay, TR. Look at this third row. You have English and science. Okay, English, science. So again, you have two cells there. Let's create both of them. So TD again. This is English. Close the TD. Then again another cell, right? TD. This is science. Let's close that. So third row also over because both cells are created. Okay, TR. Right? We have one more row. So start another row, TR. Okay. We have this was created, even third one created. Let's come to the last row. It also has two cells. First cell has math, second one religion, right? So let's create both of them. So this is TD. This is math. And then second cell has religion. So TD, religion. Close the TD. Okay. So both cells were created. So close the TR. Okay. Right. Now we have created all these four rows. Look here. This is the first row. Then this is the second row. This is the third row. And finally, the fourth row, right? All of them have been created. So we have created all the four rows, right? So which means we created the table. Creating 4 rows means the table has been created because the table has only 4 rows, right? So on the top, you instruct your browser to start the table, right? To create a table. So time to stop that. So use a table. Closing table tag. Okay. Then close your body and HTML. I just want to reduce the font size in order to show the whole coding. Okay, I hope I can show at least 90% of the coding, right? So let's save and see the output first. There may be some discussions need to be conducted. Look here, look at the output first. Right, look at this output. This is the output. Is it the table? Is it a table? Look at the output. Is it a table?
No.
No, yes. Is that a table?
No.
Yes.
No.
Right. It is a table, but borderless table. You can find the column, right? See the first column here, the second column here. You have 4 rows. Look at this. This is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row. Actually, it's a table, but you know, as a human, we always, we are always familiar with border tables, table with borders. But since we see a table without border, we think that it is not the table. Actually, it's a table. Nothing wrong with my coding, right? I have written the coding in order to create a table, but definitely it is a table, but it's a borderless table. You know, when it comes to table, we always see that with border, because if border is not found, sometimes we are unable to differentiate the columns and differentiate the rows. Okay, but in HTML, by default, a table looks like this. But if you want to apply a border, you have to instruct your browser with the help of an attribute, not a tag needed. You have to instruct your browser to put the border with the help of an attribute. Okay, I will show you. Look here. So I need the border for the entire table, right? For the entire table, we want the border. So go to the table tag. Okay, go to the table tag and add an attribute for applying the border. Look, I am applying the border for the table tag because I need the border for the entire table, not for one row or not for one cell. Since I need the border for the entire table, who is the responsible tag for the entire table? This one, right? Table tag. So go to the table and add an attribute. How to add an attribute? Leave a space. This time the attribute is border, meaningful one, border. Equal, have to write the value. So I just want to put the value here, but later I will explain about that one, because this may not be the right time to explain about that value. But when I explain about images, definitely I will take some time to explain that about that idea, right? So actually here the border size must be given, but the border size must be in pixel. Pixel means a small dot, right? If it is 1 pixel, which means 1 dot. 2 pixels, 2 dot. 3 pixels, 3 dot, right? So if I want 2 pixel, little bit larger than 1, I can put 2. So now as a student, take this as a small dot, tiny dot. But definitely I will explain something about this pixel when I explain about images, right? Pixel, P-I-X-E-L, pixel. So 2 pixel size, border size, right? Border size 2. Even you may put 1. Save your work and see the answer. I refresh. Now the border looks like big because I have increased the zoom size. So look here, this border seems to be big, but if I take the normal size, default size, this is the default size. You can see that, right? The table has been created. I have increased the size. Right, watch this, look at this output carefully. See, yes, we got everything in the table, we got all the data, but still the table seems to be modified, seems to be meaningless. Anybody, how or why?
The above first column, first row should be differentiated.
Yes, see, this is not an ordinary text, right? These day 1 and day 2 are not just an ordinary text. Look at it, the rest of the data must be the content. Actually, these two are not like the others. These must be differentiated, right? These are the headings. But no, look, at a glance, at your first glance, you all may think that everything is same. Even when you write a table, you try to put the column heading in bold letters, or sometimes you put center alignment, right? But look here, this looks like the others. So if you want heading for columns, don't try TD, don't use TD. I use TD because to show this idea, right? Because to clear this idea, that's the reason why I use TD. But now look at that, that TD is not appropriate, because if you use TD, the cell should have ordinary text, but these are not ordinary text. These must be differentiate, right? These are headings. So look, to create a cell with a heading, use TH, not TD, TH, table header. TH, TD almost same. But the difference is TH creates a cell with heading. TD creates a cell with a normal data. That's the difference, right? So TH and close the TH. Even for day 2 also, I want that as a heading, TH, table header, here table header. Okay, the rest of the things will be same. So now look at the change. So when you use TH, you can see two changes there. The first one, it looks like bold. The second one, it gets the center alignment. You can watch these two changes, right? So let's look at the output. I hope that you can see both. Now see, day 1 is in the middle, day 2 is in the middle. So they take the center alignment. By default, TH takes that, right? You don't need to write any align or something. By default, TH takes the center alignment. And look at them, it is bold. So now whoever sees this table can see day 1, day 2 as the heading. And the rest of the things will be ordinary text. Maybe I'm using the word ordinary because they are the contents. Okay, so this is the basic idea for creating the table. But as I said earlier, there must be several formattings needed in table. So check the coding and output, and if you have any doubt, please ask me. You don't need to write anything. I will send everything. Clear, right? Okay, look, we have to do several, formatting. Even you can see now, look at that. Now my browser is very big, but look at the table. So the table is shown only maybe one corner of the browser, but the browser is very big, right? That has a very big width, but browser shows the table only on one corner. It is because of the content. Look at that. Look at the width of the column. Actually, width of the column is set to the text inside. Look here, the first column width is set according to English. That word English has many letters in the first column. So the first column width has been set to the number of letters in English. Look at the second one. Actually, in the second column, religion is the word which has many letters. But now it is obvious that the second column has more width than the first column. The reason is simple. The religion has more letters than English. See, English has only 7 letters, right? But how many letters are in religion? 8, right? 8 letters. So that's why that second column seems to be little larger, right? But even if you want, you can take the table for the whole width of the browser. 100% width can be taken. Even if you want the table for right, for this one up to here, from here to here, maybe half, this is possible. You can change the width of the table, even you can change the column, height of the table. Everything is possible, but not today. We will learn such things later. So I hope today, today's lesson is very important for you, because we learned 2 important things. First of all, we learned about creating multi-level. Now we have created the basic table. If you are able to understand the basic table, you know, the remaining things about table is not a problem. You can understand. Okay, that's it. Any questions asked? If you have any questions, ask me, please. All right, so that's it for today. See you next time. Thank you.